We have come to a point in cricket where no one actually believes the coin toss anymore. Deciding who bats or bowls first should be as simple as flipping it in the air and then the winning captain deciding. But at the 2023 World Cup, there was a conspiracy that the tosses were rigged because India kept winning them. This isn't just people online, even some in the game were asking the question. Is India's coin actually rigged? Is it weighted more to one side? And it was clearly a preposterous claim, made more hilarious by the fact that in the final, they lost the toss. But the truth is, many things in cricket are weighted towards India already. We don't need magic coins. The Indian cricket team won the Champions Trophy. But sometimes even when you win, you can't win.
There's lots of cool stuff, plus often I'm talking about behind the scenes things. But there's also ad-free content, early podcast episodes, and you can stay updated with my emailer as well. Thank you to all the incredible supporters who have made our channel thrive.
India were favorites for the tournament when it was scheduled to be only in Pakistan. If it was moved to South Africa, they would probably still be favorites. They remained the most backed team, even when the world's best white ball player wasn't going to play. On top of the bilateral success, India had also just won a T20 World Cup and made an ODI final. You could play this tournament on Mars with a pine cone. They were still the obvious choice to win. And they did. But for many, there will always be an asterisk, which makes sense, but is completely unfair to the team who is very good at cricket. The reason all their games were played in Dubai was not because the team requested wickets that would suit them. The pitches in Pakistan still would have been very nice to them. It's because of politics and decisions made way above their heads. The Indian cricket team is a political entity, and that didn't start recently. This decision was never going to be in the players' hands. Now, if another team did what India had done, they might have been replaced from the tournament. But this tournament only exists because India play in it. The World Cup would still make lots of money if India didn't play 1 year. The Champions Trophy has been canceled 3 times, with them turning up. The decision to allow them to play in another country had nothing to do with the players. The other point was that all their games were in Dubai. When it comes to squad selection, I'm not sure India would have made any changes to their group if they were playing in 2 places or in Pakistan. However, you can make the argument that other teams might have slightly changed their plans if they knew they'd only play at one ground. But we are talking about fringe players anyway. The best fit cricketer not at this tournament is Yashasvi Jaiswal. He walks into every team and is the best batter in a lot of them, and India didn't need him. But playing at one ground is clearly an advantage, not just in squad selection, but also because India didn't have to travel. The New Zealand players have barely been off planes long enough to have a match, and India are getting a lovely bus out to Sports City. There's no doubt this was a massive advantage, but again, the players had nothing to do with this. If the ICC had said they had to split their matches between Dubai and Sri Lanka, they would have done that. But there was no way that was going to happen. The ground, more than the pitch, was probably India's biggest advantage. India might still have played the 4 spinners in Pakistan, although it's less likely. But in Dubai, even on days it didn't turn much, the size of the ground helped their spinners. But it's worth noting that on current form, India have 4 of the best 8 spinners in the world. Unless their wickets in Pakistan were on ice, they'd have been handy. And the players did not pick Dubai as their ground. It's just the solution for every problem in cricket, from tax dodging to backup events. If India did play on the faster scoring wickets in Pakistan, their batting, which was by far the best in this tournament, would have been good there. Ravindra Jadeja batting at 8 is like using a Lamborghini to go next door for some sugar. And they also had 6 frontline options with the ball in every game to throw at those situations. This team has a top 4 that is actually obscene. It has 3 world-class all-rounders, a gaggle of great spin, and one of the best strike bowlers in history. Remember, they started this tournament without Varun Chakravarti. Sure, other teams had more injuries than them, but no team lost anyone as good as Jasprit Bumrah either. Rishabh Pant never came off the bench. Mohammad Siraj is on a beach somewhere. This is a great team who had to overcome a smart, locked-in New Zealand. I mean, just beating Glenn Phillips in the ring is a challenge. They literally threw themselves at India, and it still wasn't enough. Maybe if India had traveled to Pakistan, things would have been different. This was a close game. Maybe some more time and pressurized tubes could have evened it up. Or India might still win. But we can only look at what happened in front of us. In this, the best team won, but they certainly had the coin weighted in their favor. Sports fans love the asterisk because it allows them to frame winning or losing based on their personal beliefs. And there is no doubt there's plenty of stuff here to use if you want it. The issue really is that the very good cricket team won because they are very good, and it's harder to enjoy because of the political and financial decisions that were made by people who did not go out on a cricket field to play. This tournament ended up with the rightful winners, and because of the nonsensical way cricket is run, many won't feel that way. In the 2023 World Cup, India started in Chennai before heading to Delhi, Ahmedabad, Pune, Dharamsala, Lucknow, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Bengaluru. They were on an Indian tour, trying to play in as many places as possible because they're not just a cricket team. They are a brand that is used to make political and financial gains. They are rinsed dry by people with their own intentions. The Indian cricket team is full of amazing stories of people beating the odds just to play the game. They all came together and won an ICC trophy. They had little to do with the nonsense. They just play cricket. But even when they win, they literally can't win.
It took God and the demon to build international cricket, but don't tell Johnny Best. 1882, Australia had played one test in England against the god W.G. Grace, and they sucked. So they were playing him again, and it was a tough wicket. But England was in front, so Australia was desperate for a third innings lead. At number 8 was young all-rounder Sammy Jones. After a routine single, he walks down to do some gardening on the pitch. Grace whips off the bails and appeals. The ball wasn't dead, Jones was run out. The Australians were furious. In fact, some of the English players were also furious. But what Grace said went, and the umpires had already given it. Next in was Fred Spofford. He was known as the demon fast bowler. He was furious, and he let England know exactly what was coming next, which was maiden. There's 12 maidens. I can't count them all. England only needed 85 to win. W.G. Grace made 32. England only 77. That was the test where the Ashes began. Buy my book, Overthrowing Cricket's Empire, on Amazon today.